More than 2,500 years ago, the world was quiet and waiting. In the peaceful gardens of Lumbini, Queen Maya held her newborn child. The baby slept calmly, as if touched by a deeper peace. Legends say nature itself responded. Flowers bloomed, and the air felt still. This child was Siddhartha, destined to awaken the world. He would be known as the Buddha. As the child Siddhartha slept peacefully, wise sages were invited to see him. They studied the marks on his body and spoke in quiet wonder. This child, they said, would live two possible lives. If he remained in the palace, he would become a great king, ruling the world with power and strength. But if he ever left the palace walls, he would renounce everything and become a great spiritual teacher, guiding humanity toward peace and freedom. His father listened in silence, hoping his son would choose the path of a king. But deep within the child's destiny, a greater calling was already awakening, a journey that would change the world forever. Prince Siddhartha grew up surrounded by beauty and comfort. The palace walls shielded him from pain, from sorrow, and from the harsh realities of the world. Gardens were always in bloom. Music filled the air, and every desire was quietly fulfilled. His father ensured that nothing troubling would ever reach his son's eyes. No illness, no aging, no suffering. Days passed in luxury and nights in peaceful silence. Yet even within this perfect life, something felt incomplete. A quiet question began to stir within him. If life was only pleasure, why did his heart feel restless? Was this all there was to life? And beyond the palace walls, what truths remained unseen? He had never seen old age until that day. One morning, Siddhartha asked to leave the palace walls. His father hesitated, but finally allowed the journey. As the chariot moved through the city, Siddhartha looked around with quiet curiosity. The world felt wider and unfamiliar. Then he saw something unfamiliar. A man bent with age, his body weak, his steps slow. Time itself seemed to slow as Siddhartha watched. He watched in silence, unable to look away. He turned to his companion and asked, "Is this the fate of all people?" The answer was simple and unavoidable. A truth he had never been shown before. For the first time, the perfect world he knew began to crack. Then he saw something even more troubling. As the chariot continued forward, Siddhartha noticed a man lying by the roadside. His body was weak, his breath shallow, his face filled with pain. The man struggled even to move, and each breath seemed heavy. Siddhartha had never seen sickness before. He asked quietly, "What has happened to him?" The answer was simple. "This is illness," the companion said. "It can touch anyone, the rich and the poor, the young and the old. No palace walls could protect the body forever." Siddhartha looked on in silence. If the body could become so fragile, what safety truly existed? Another truth settled into his heart, and the world felt heavier than before. Then he saw something no one can escape. As the chariot moved onward, Siddhartha noticed a silent gathering by the road. People stood quietly, their faces heavy with grief. At the center lay a lifeless body, still, cold, without breath. Siddhartha had never seen death before. He asked softly, "What has happened to him?" The companion answered, "This is death. It comes to all, no matter how rich, no matter how powerful." Siddhartha felt the weight of the moment. If life could end so suddenly, what meaning did comfort and pleasure hold? That day, the illusion of permanence finally disappeared. Then he saw someone unlike anyone before. As the chariot moved forward, Siddhartha noticed a man walking calmly along the road. He wore simple robes, carried nothing, and yet his face was peaceful. There was no fear, no attachment, no desire in his eyes. Siddhartha was drawn to this strange calm. He asked softly, "Who is this man?" The companion replied, "He is an ascetic, one who has left comfort behind, in search of truth and freedom." For the first time, Siddhartha felt hope rise within him. Perhaps there was a path beyond suffering, a path he himself must one day walk. As the chariot returned toward the palace, Siddhartha could not stop thinking about the monk. The man had owned almost nothing. No palace, no wealth, no power. Yet his face carried a calm Siddhartha had never seen before. Inside the palace, music still played, the gardens were still beautiful, and the halls were filled with comfort. But something had changed within him. The pleasures that once felt complete now felt strangely empty. Siddhartha began to wonder, could true peace exist beyond these palace walls? And if that monk had found it, what path had he taken to find that peace? That night, Siddhartha made a decision that would change everything. The palace was silent. Even the wind seemed to rest. But Siddhartha could not sleep. The questions in his heart had grown too strong to ignore. He had seen aging, he had seen suffering, he had seen death, and he had seen a path beyond it, a life not of comfort, but of truth. He walked slowly through the palace halls, knowing this would be his last night as a prince. The life he had known no longer felt complete. In that quiet moment, Siddhartha made his choice to leave everything behind. Not for power, not for glory, but to understand life and to end suffering.